And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, then go to town and stay past midnight at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, I'm John.
Hi, I'm Melissa. We are your Frost Farm Parts Department, and today we'll be talking about ethanol fuel and the effect it has on agricultural equipment and what to do to prevent fuel problems.
First, we'll talk about fuel and how to prevent it from breaking down. A couple of things you can do to understand this: the higher the octane, the more detergents that are in it, so the less quickly it breaks down. So using a higher grade octane is better. Phase separation happens the longer fuel sits, causing the fuel to attract moisture and oxidize, creating a jelly-like substance that clogs your carburetor and fuel injection systems and anywhere in your fuel system.
To avoid costly rebuilds and downtime on equipment, we recommend treating your fuel, and we have several options here at Frost Farm to help protect your fuel system. We have additives such as Stable and Startron. This helps your fuel last longer by slowing down phase separation, and we also recommend not to let fuel sit in long-term storage.
In the event of your equipment that needs to be stored for long time periods or not be used often, we recommend using fuels with no ethanol, such as the VP fuels that we carry here at Frost Farm in both 4 and 2 cycle fuels to enable worry-free storage.
In the event of a down machine due to fuel issues, here at Frost Farm, we have a full parts department with a full line of carb repair kits and fuel-related products to get you back up and running and prevent costly downtime of your machine.
At Frost Farm, we pride ourselves in keeping up to date with the ever-changing technologies and practices in our field and being ready to educate and help our local farming community, keeping it thriving.
Hi, my name is Esther. I've been here for 24 and a half years. I recently retired, but because of a change in help, I'm coming back to help out in the office part-time. The company was a lot smaller when I first started, and it has grown. The computer systems have changed. The job has kind of changed over the years with the added products, different ways of doing things, and it's been a family business, a good place to work. It's very family oriented. All the people, the employees they're like family, and it's just been a very good place to work. And that's why, even though I retired and they're having health problems in the office right now, that I called Ted and told him I would come back part-time to help him out as long as he needed me.
Hello, I'm John. I'm John, service manager here. What's the importance of servicing your tractor before winter? Well, today when you buy a tractor, it's an investment, long term, the way I like to look at it. You want to take care of it. If you read the book, sometimes it says $300 for an oil change. I say, throw that page away. You get moisture, condensation over the year. Change your oil at least once a year. But I recommend in the fall, because winter time is when you have the most problem. Always use a good grade oil. 1030 or 1540. What we use here is easier starting in the winter. Your hydraulics, the same thing, you get moisture. We get them all the time with collapsed filters and things because of moisture and water in them. Use the hydraulic oil as the manufacturer recommends. I've done some real expensive transmissions because people cheap stuff don't want to pay the price, and it costs in the long run. Your antifreeze, you want to check that. You don't have to change it every year, but you should change it and check it. But 50-50 mix will usually give you around 40 below zero, which will take care of it. Your filters, oil filter, air filter, and the hydraulic filter should be changed once a year. The tractor has to breathe, it needs a good air filter. The oil filter will have the moisture and stuff in it that should be changed once a year with the oil. And the hydraulics, same thing. Moisture mainly you want to take out. The biggest problem in the wintertime is going to be a little fuel pump. We recommend using fuel additive to stop gelling in the wintertime. And that will help you as much as anything. Clean, new filter in the fall. And they say, why? It's fat good, it's running good. But no. Do yourself a favor, service it up good in the fall, and you won't have the problems in the winter, because if days like today, when it's just above zero or below zero, they take a little cough. And that's when you want to be able to run the tractor and put it away without working on it out there by the road. With that in mind, keep service in mind. Pays in the long run. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ted Frost. I'm the guy, the head honcho here, president of Frost Farm Service, Inc. We're a established farm equipment dealership in southern New Hampshire. In fact, it's Greenville, New Hampshire, just off of Route 31 on Route 123. We've been here since 1955 is when we were established. My father is the one that started the business. He was a dairy farmer here in Greenville, as well as growing apples, peaches, and so on and so forth, a typical all-around New Hampshire farmer. My mom took care of most of the cows with my dad. She was also a school teacher. Back in the 50s, she said to my dad one day, she says, you know, she says, I'm getting a little sick and tired of using my teaching paycheck so that you can keep milking cows. Also in that same statement was that whenever any of his friends got in trouble, their tractors wouldn't start or the balers wouldn't tie or whatever happened, they would call my dad, and being the good guy that he was, he would go off and fix their tractor for them or their hay bale or whatever it happened to be, probably as well as help a sick cow on the way. But my mom said to him, she said, geez, you're real good at that, and all your friends and all the farmers around here rely on you anyway. Why don't you start charging them for them and help them out along the way, and you can earn an income from that so that we can milk some cows further on. We started out, my dad across the little garage across from the house, selling McCulloch chainsaws. That was in the early 50s. Stepped up from there. We just kept progressing. The salesman for McCulloch had a good friend of his that was a salesman for New Holland Machine Company out of New Holland, Pennsylvania. He brought him along one day, and what happened after that was we got signed up. We were New Holland dealers. Things kept progressing along the line. We took on many different lines of equipment, helping out the local farmers. We weren't very big then, probably, well, back in the 50s, money was a lot different than it is today, but probably our annual income from the business was probably at the very most $10,000. But we had a line of tractors then. They were David Brown tractors. They were made over in Meltham, England. My dad took those on. Times progressed, and unfortunately my dad died in 1969 with cancer, terminal cancer. We took care of him right here for just about a year. When he did finally pass in 1969, I was in the Army at the time, and came home on an emergency leave, and my dad said to me one day, he said, "Well, Ted, it's up to you, whatever you want to do." He said, "If you want the business, it's yours. If you don't, then we'll just liquidate, and you can go on, do whatever you want to." Well, that was a life and death situation there, and my dad had put too much of his life into this business, building it up to what it was, and I personally felt that we shouldn't be losing that. He worked too hard. The local farmers relied on him for parts and service, as well as going in the house and sitting down and had a cup of coffee. Salesmen that called on us the same way, they'd come in and call on us, and we'd go over and have coffee and did our business. Well, that was quite a long time ago. Hopefully we've progressed from there and took on many lines. Now, major line is Massey Ferguson, which is part of ADCO Corporation. They have many different pieces of equipment, from tractors to loaders, harrows, plows, you name it, anything to do with farm equipment, they provide it for us. We've been Massey Ferguson dealers for approximately 25 years now, very well established, and have sold a number of tractors from starting with the little four-wheel drive GC models at 23 horsepower, right up to over 100 horsepower tractors, and as well as equipment, hay balers, rakes, tedders. Also, some of the other lines that we handle is we have Bush Hog, which manufactures quite a bit of different pieces of equipment, grader blades, York rakes, mowers, brush hog type of mowers. I know we're using the name brush hog is a manufacturer's name. It actually is a rotary cutter. We handle it bush hog. We took on Krone equipment approximately 15 years ago. They are in a hay and tillage equipment. They are made over in Germany, and they're top of the line. They are very, very good company. It's family owned. They have rakes, tedders, mower conditioners, all the way up to what they call a Big E or a Big M, which is a self-propelled unit for doing hay as well as corn, corn stoffus, and so on and so forth. We also have Kuhn equipment, which is made in France. Again, they're hay and tillage equipment. They've progressed along now so that they are part of Kraus, which has tillage equipment, manure spreaders, and quite a bit of other equipment as well as hay mowers and tedders and whatever. We have parts and service here. We have 3 different vehicles that we can go on the road to pick up your equipment if it be necessary, so that we can bring it back and service it here at our dealership. We have 3 full-time mechanics that can provide parts and service for you, as well as we have 3 different people in our parts department. Hopefully, anything you need, we can come up and retrofit or whatever it be. Again, we're part of the community here. Been here since 1955. I'm the 3rd generation on the farm here. I guess it's the old adage, you could take the boy off the farm, but you can't take the farm out of the boy. And we farm here the same as we did before. We can't say we're the dairy farmers anymore, unfortunately, because of the dairy industry and what it is today. I feel sorry for them, and we do anything that we can do to help them along, because it's a tough road to sled. Anything that we can do to help the agricultural equipment, be the farmers or whatever it is, we're more than glad to do that. Thank you very much.